handful of customers in Beaufort County are without power. Here's a look at the conditions from about an hour and a half ago. And we know that the wind was gusting. If you're on the roads today, keep your hands on the wheel, tightly on the wheel, because that wind, it has the potential to kind of pull your car around on the road. Jonathan, what are the winds, the gusts and the sustained winds?
Well, overnight last night, Jessica, we had winds gusting over 40 miles per hour in some areas, but they've continued to slowly slacken off, and I do expect that trend to continue as we go throughout the day. And here are the current wind gusts outside. We're seeing a wind gust of 28 Savannah, 20 for Hilton Head, Beaufort, and also for Statesboro, Sylvania, 22 mile per hour wind gusts. In some areas, you're seeing about mid-20 wind gusts. So it is a windy morning, and those winds will even make things feel colder outside. Our temperatures upper 20s and lower 30s, and this is what it feels like outside. It feels more like it's in the upper teens in many areas, from Reedsville to Statesboro. Feels like 17, Springfield, Hampton 18, feels like 21 in Savannah, and it feels like 16 degrees in Jessup. Yeah, bundle up this morning as you head out the door for work. You'll definitely need that heavy coat, some gloves, and also maybe a hat on with clear skies. We'll see northwest winds throughout the morning, 20 to 30 miles per hour, and an afternoon high for today well below average, 44 to 48. I'll be looking at that weekend forecast coming up a little bit later.
An 18-year-old was hit by a car on White Bluff Road in Savannah last night. Metro Police say she is in stable condition at the hospital. Melody Johnson was crossing White Bluff in front of the Oglethorpe Mall when she was struck at about 7:30. Police say she wasn't in a crosswalk. She was also wearing dark-colored clothing. It's a 28-year-old Savannah man who was in a small hatchback who ran into the woman. No charges have been reported at this time. Now to a developing story. We are learning more about the former Valdosta bank director who became wanted by the FBI. Aubrey Price is accused of embezzling millions of dollars. He's been on the run for 18 months. He's also going to be required to pay up for faking his death, something that cost the Coast Guard almost $200,000. As our Jennifer Andrews reports, it's what he's telling investigators that's now making headlines throughout the nation.
You might call him a dead man walking. 47-year-old Aubrey Lee Price, a former Valdosta banker, thought dead, now very much alive and heading to a Brunswick courtroom. He is accused of defrauding a bank and investors in a multi-million-dollar investment scheme.
I started putting money into a retirement account when I was 22, and that was completely wiped out, and all of our savings.
Authorities think the Price faked his own death when he disappeared back in 2012. He reportedly sent a letter to family and friends saying that he planned to kill himself by jumping off a ferry. But the FBI didn't buy it, and he was eventually spotted outside airports in New York and Florida. But eventually he was declared dead. Then, finally, 18 months later, Price was nabbed for having illegally tinted windows during a traffic stop on I-95 in Glenn County.
We really didn't know who he was until we got here to the jail. And once we found out, we didn't know it was going to be this big, this extravagant.
When we brought him down to the detention center, prior to booking him, I went ahead and myself and Deputy Falk asked him, are you going to go ahead and tell us who you are? And that's when he let us know that he was Aubrey Lee Price.
It was like a weight lifted off his shoulders. You could see it in his face.
The U.S. Marshal said that Price told authorities he had been homeless and was working as a migrant worker, accepting cash for odd jobs.
That was Jennifer Andrews reporting. Price is expected to be in court here in Savannah on Monday. The search continues for the man responsible for one of last year's Savannah murders. Take a look at this picture. He's 31-year-old Maurice Bentley, wanted in the murder investigation of Michael Polite. Police want you to keep in mind that Bentley had braided hair, but he's possibly cut it. He's also a registered sex offender and should be considered armed and dangerous. Two alleged armed robbers are off Statesboro streets. Back in November, 3 people broke into an apartment at the Avenue at Southern and held 2 residents at gunpoint, then robbed them. After an investigation, police arrested Bradley Edwards and Xavier Lundy as 2 of the armed robbers. These men were charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault, and burglary. This case is still under investigation. If you have any information to share, you're urged to contact the Statesboro Police Department. A dramatic spike in Savannah homicides has police asking for your help. 2013 saw the murder rate shoot up 25%. A rise in violent crimes was experienced nationwide last year. In most cases locally of murder, police say the victims knew their attackers. WJCL's Renee LaSalle is working for you, trying to get to the bottom of the Savannah crime rate.
It could have been me.
Nicholas Black says the violence has got to stop.
It could have been anybody because no bullets have no name.
The 18-year-old was coming home on Christmas Eve and found a murder scene on Elliott Street, one of 31 homicides in Savannah in 2013.
No number is acceptable.
But those numbers are up nearly 25%. Take a look. The 31 homicides in 2013 are up significantly over the 23 in 2012 and the 26 homicides in 2011. Major Harry Branson says 22 of those cases are either closed, pending arrest, or grand jury indictment.
In all but about 9 of these cases is the perpetrator was known to the victim.
But those aren't the only numbers on the rise. Rapes are also up dramatically. There were 48 rapes reported in 2013 versus 25 in 2012 and 36 in 2011. Aggravated assaults with a gun were up too. 2013 had 163 aggravated assault with a gun reports compared to 135 in 2012 and 151 in 2011.
Anytime there's a rise in crime, there should be a concern by our community.
Major Branson says the department is taking every step possible to curb violent crime. There are additional police on the streets, and the department is working to strengthen community ties. Back in West Savannah, Nicholas Black says police are doing what they can, but the community must do its part.
You can hear about it all the time. You can hear it in your house, you can hear it. But you actually see it happening, it really does strike the chord.
Police are asking for your help to solve the 9 open homicide cases from last year. A list of those crimes is posted on this story on our website. Just go to WJCL.com. Call the Crime Stoppers hotline with any tips and you might qualify for a cash reward. In news around the nation, former Defense Secretary Robert Gates has returned home after a nasty fall. Gates, who served as Secretary of Defense under Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama, fractured a vertebrae on New Year's Day. His office released a statement saying he had fallen at his home in Washington state. The 70-year-old was treated at 2 different hospitals before returning home. He is expected to make a full recovery. Now he'll have to wear a neck brace when he goes on a media tour for his memoir, which releases later this month. Many uninsured Americans say they're unhappy with the Obamacare website. In a new Gallup poll, 59% of those without insurance said they had a negative experience on the online exchange. 39% rated their experience as positive. This most recent poll does show a small uptick in people's opinion of the site. Similar polls from October and November showed 63% unrated or 63% rated user experience negatively. The minor improvement comes after the Obama administration's self-imposed November 30th deadline to fix the site's problems.
Storm tracker forecast. It is now coming up on 6:09, and we are seeing a blustery start to the morning, and it is cold outside. At 31, not too bad, but when you factor in that wind, northwest at 14 miles per hour, it feels colder than that 31 degrees. Wind chill values in many areas are into the teens, and here are those values this morning. 17 Reedsville, Statesboro, Pembroke. 18 is what it feels like. You see many areas upper teens and lower 20s is what it feels like. So you definitely need that heavy coat as you start the day out. Dry weather across our area. Many areas picked up at least an inch of rainfall over the last 24 hours with that rain that did move through yesterday. As finally moved out, we'll continue seeing dry weather for today and also for tomorrow. But look at the nasty weather to the northeast. Many flights have been canceled up to LaGuardia, New York this morning. Seeing blizzard conditions eastern parts of Massachusetts, also for Rhode Island and even Long Island. Overnight last night did report some blizzard conditions at times. This will continue pulling away from the northeast throughout the day. Storm tracker day planner. It will be a cold day. Temperatures well below average despite full sunshine. Clear skies 7 o'clock, 30 degrees by noon, 38. 5 o'clock we'll see a temperature of 43 degrees, and look at this high only near 46. So very cold conditions all the way through the afternoon and even for tonight as well. Storm tracker 7-day forecast will show that low for tonight 28 degrees, but we'll warm up about 10 degrees warmer on Saturday, 56, and then fairly mild there for Sunday, mid 60s. However, late Saturday we'll see increasing clouds, probably becoming mostly cloudy late afternoon on Saturday, and then mostly cloudy Sunday. Chances for showers probably by Sunday night into Monday morning. Another strong cold front passes through, Jessica. This next one on Monday will even be colder than the one we're seeing today, which means we may not get out of the 30s next Tuesday afternoon with morning lows in the mid 20s.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's going to be a really, this is a true Arctic air mass we're seeing today, and also a really cold coming up by early next week.
I think today a windbreaker on top of a jacket is what
layers,
is needed.
Exactly.
Yeah, coming up here on Good Morning Savannah, a lot of people are excited about JetBlue Airlines coming to our Savannah airport, but exactly when will those flights be headed out of town? We'll tell you at about 6:20. First, though, millions of Americans now have health insurance because of the Affordable Care Act. But is there still time to sign up, and when does that fee begin? We'll answer those questions for you next. In health news this morning, do you know the deadline to sign up for the Affordable Care Act if you need it? Or do you know how and when you'll have to pay? We put people to the test and wait until you hear what they say. WJCL's Nick Notario is working for you. He's come up with what might be called Obamacare 101.
Happy New Year! The ball dropping in New York City didn't just ring in a new year. It also gave about 2 million Americans health insurance. This is because those who signed up for insurance through the new healthcare.gov website are now covered, including Katie Gonzalez.
My husband did not have it before, so it's a relief to know that we're both secure.
Even though Gonzalez is covered, she wasn't sure when she had to sign up to guarantee insurance for 2014.
I have no idea. I really kind of thought it was actually January 1st, so I felt like the pressure was on.
It was a trend WJCL discovered. No one we asked seemed to know.
My impression is that the deadline was extended into January, but I'm not positive about that.
For those who didn't sign up by January 1st, there's still time to get coverage. People can do so through the end of March. Also the date to remember, because if you don't have an insurance or haven't signed up through the website, then you get hit with a penalty.
You miss a deadline, here's what you'll be forced to pay. The minimum amount is $95 per adult and $47.50 per kid for the year. Another thing, just because you can still sign up to get coverage for 2014 doesn't mean it happens right away. If you sign up before the 15th of the month, coverage can start by the following month. But wait until the 16th and it takes a month and a half until it can begin. Information some people hope gets cleared up before they decide to renew.
Probably. We'll see how it goes, but I don't see why not.
Nick Notario, WJCL News, working for you.
If you missed the enrollment period for 2014, which once again ends the end of March, you can sign up for 2015 beginning in November. Now keep in mind the penalty for not having insurance next year is going to be hundreds of dollars more than it is this year. All of this information and so much more about the insurance can be found on our website, WJCL.com. Coming up here, saying goodbye to 2013's Christmas trees. Lots of places are grinding the greens this weekend. We'll tell you where. Thanks for being with us this morning on this Friday. "18 minutes now past 6. Now to an update on a story we've been following. JetBlue will soon be in Savannah, and officials say everything is still a go. There are no desk agents or signage yet for the discounted airline, but airport leaders say do not worry. Those will be here next month. Flights to New York City and Boston begin in February, and some people cannot wait.
I'm really excited about that. I have some friends who go to school in Boston, so it'd be really easy to just go and take a round trip flight up there and go visit them anytime now.
I think it's great that JetBlue's coming into town because then there'll be more low-cost options for people wanting to fly to New York or Boston or other places.
You may book flights out of Savannah online after mid-February.
Looking at destination weather, well, if JetBlue is flying out of Savannah to Boston, I'm sure that those flights would be probably canceled because we are seeing some canceled flights to the northeast. Savannah, everything is pretty much reporting on time, especially for the areas that are headed to Atlanta and Charlotte. Not seeing any problems, but a flight from Savannah to New York is canceled this morning. Also delays in Washington, 50 to 70 minutes with that snow that is moving through the northeast. Also Chicago at O'Hare, 25 to 35 minute delays there. I noticed the flight from Savannah to Chicago later today has been delayed already 2 hours. And here is a look at Afghanistan starting the day out. Actually, it's in the afternoon over there, 39 degrees, so it was a cold day, mostly cloudy skies. Storm Tracker 7-day forecast for our area today. It'll definitely feel like January with a temperature of 46 degrees, breezy northwest winds. And then for tomorrow, a little bit warmer. Also for Sunday, continue to warm up in the mid-60s. Chances for showers late on Sunday, and then on Monday, 52. And then turning cold once again for Tuesday of next week with afternoon highs near 40. Let's go back to the news desk with Jessica.
Thanks, Jonathan. The holiday movie season is winding down with only one major new release this week. It's the latest chapter in the Paranormal Activity series. Calandra Corder has this week's Now Showing.
Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, continues the popular horror franchise. It tells the story of Jesse, who finds a mysterious mark on his arm after entering the home of a murdered woman. He then wakes up with unexplained powers and is pursued by mysterious forces. Meanwhile, his family and friends try to save him from whatever it is that's after him.
So what's going to happen to him?
He won't be Jesse anymore.
The movie is shot in the found footage style, where the person shooting the movie is a character. Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones, is rated R. For Now Showing, I'm Calandra Corder.
Still to come, more business is coming to the South Carolina Lowcountry. Next, we're working for you to find out how Hardeeville is building itself up. South Carolina drivers are saving big on gasoline. AAA Carolinas reports the average price for a gallon of regular gas was $3.24 in 2013. That's 25 cents below the national average. That's also the lowest average price in the nation. Part of the reason is because it also has one of the lowest gas taxes in the country, less than 17 cents a gallon. That has been unchanged since 1987. More hotels and restaurants could be headed to Jasper County. Hardeeville and Jasper County officials want to direct more traffic off of Interstate 95 near Exit 8 in South Carolina. As WJCL Lowcountry Bureau Chief Larry Sproul reports, planners say it's pretty simple.
Cash is flowing in here at Doc Shell's gas station in Hardeeville. But that's not always the case.
It's normally quiet here. We don't normally have too much business. But since it's the holiday, it seems like it picks up more traffic.
Kevin Green has seen a lot of foot traffic come and go inside this store.
This is the exit normally, like, tourists get off to go to Hilton Head.
But that may change. Hardeeville and Jasper County officials have plans to take this traffic off of Interstate 95 and direct it into their direction.
Everyone noticed there was a large amount of traffic coming through there on a daily basis, not just during high tourist season.
That's why Snowden says they want to build hotels and restaurants on these 1,800 acres off of Interstate 95. Now, they're not sure exactly what else will go here, but the goal is to come from behind the shadows of their neighboring cities down the street.
Hardeeville and Jasper County officials say a lot of times when people pass by Exit 8, they just focus on Bluffton, Beaufort, and Hilton Head. But they believe if they too build in this area, a lot of this traffic will go to Hardeeville and Jasper County as well.
It's a very important spot for us for our economic development.
It will draw more tourists that comes to this area, and also the people that stay here, it'll give them, a shopping and more jobs to offer.
An offer Jasper County hopes drivers cannot pass by.
That was our Larry Sproul reporting. Snowden says the next step is to address the Planning Commission in both Hardeeville and Jasper County. The first thing they need to do is cut the grass and install signs around the exit. All right, it is 6:26 right now. Straight ahead, it's lights out for those incandescent bulbs. Next, our Cassidy Lance will tell you why they'll be out of stores soon. Yeah.
And now, WJCL News, working for you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Savannah. It is 6:30. I'm Jessica Kiss. We have more news for you in a moment, but here's your traffic report with Jonathan Myers. Definitely windy conditions, huh, Jonathan?
That's right, Jessica. We're producing some power outages across the area. Also, a downed tree is blocking Quaco Road between Laurelwood Drive on Highway 17, and that is due to those gusty winds. Gusting overnight last night of 40 miles per hour, but I do expect those winds to continue to slacken off as we go throughout the day. Definitely drive carefully this morning with those windy conditions. Now, here's a look at the radar hotspot for today. It is MLK Boulevard. Jessica?
Thanks, Jonathan. Well, a consumer alert starting off the new year. You can now say goodbye to those incandescent light bulbs. But what does that mean for you? Well, WJCL's Cassidy Lance is in the studio with more, making sure that all of us are not left in the dark. Good morning, Cassidy.
Good morning, Jessica. That's right. The start of the year meant incandescent light bulbs are starting to be phased out, which for some is a big concern. So we spoke to some experts to find out what you can expect in the coming months.
Raymond Thomas came to Home Depot on Victory Drive looking for this, a pack of 60-watt incandescent light bulbs. But he quickly realized the pickings were slim.
I am trying to find these bulbs, and this is my fourth stop. And I haven't been able to find them anyplace else.
That's because as of January 1st, federally mandated efficiency standards made it illegal to manufacture or import 40 and 60-watt incandescent bulbs, the two most popular on the market.
A lot of people are actually getting nervous.
This change, all a part of the Energy Independence and Security Act of 2007, meant to make light bulbs more efficient and environmentally friendly. So what does this mean for you? The traditional bulbs have now been replaced with others like LEDs and compact fluorescents, also known as CFLs. It also means more choices and smaller electric bills.
They not only save on the electricity of the lights burning, they put out less heat.
While everyone loves to save money, all of those choices can be a bit confusing. And while most of these bulbs have EcoSmart replacements, not all is equal.
This is just one example of a 60-watt bulb that's currently being phased out, but customers don't worry, there's already a replacement. This 60-watt equivalent EcoSmart bulb that associates say will do the exact same job. The difference? This 2-pack is priced at $277. This EcoSmart 2-pack priced at $1097.
But experts and customers say shelling out more cash for the bulbs will be worth it.
Lasts 7 years longer compared to the regular incandescent, which doesn't have a long lifespan.
Even though they're going to cost more, they'll last longer. So it's a trade-off.
Now, even though production of the incandescent bulbs has been discontinued, you still can buy them in stores. But Jessica, that's only as long as supplies last. Once they're gone for good. And experts say that even though it might not be a huge problem right now, you still can find these bulbs. A few months down the road, who knows? The demand could outweigh it all.
Absolutely. Next week on Good Morning Savannah, we kind of talk about the design angle of it and how a lot of the designers, the professionals, they say those incandescents was what really made a room attractive.
Yeah.
And there are adjustments people have to make in order to still get that warm feeling in a room with different bulbs. So we'll take a look at that.
We all need that soft glow in the room, too.
That's right, we do. Thanks, Cassidy. All right, straight ahead here on Good Morning Savannah, we've got this for you.
Blizzard conditions come to some areas as a nor'easter churns off the east coast, bringing bitter cold, heavy snow, and winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour. I'm Andrew Spencer, and I'll show you some of the impacts so far coming up.
Arctic air has moved into our area overnight. Will it last throughout the weekend? I'll be looking at that storm tracker forecast coming up right after the break.
Storms causing trouble for New York and Boston as a nor'easter churns off the East Coast. About 100 million people across 22 states have been in the path of this week's winter storms. Andrew Spencer reports the conditions are expected to get even worse today.
Heavy snow, poor visibility, and bitter cold have started dominating the Northeast, a storm the National Weather Service warned would raise havoc. And as the nor'easter whipped the winds off the coast of New England, the high tides at midnight and midday Friday were expected to cause coastal flooding in Massachusetts.
It's extraordinary how much is already being done on the ground to prepare for this storm.
Officials did what they could, getting crews out to salt the roads and closing down the Long Island Expressway overnight. New York's Long Island, along with parts of Massachusetts and Maine, were expected to get blizzard conditions.
With wind gusts over 45 miles per hour, your visibility down to about a quarter of a mile.
Bad driving conditions were only expected to get worse, and the storms have already made a mess of air travel, causing more than 2,000 flight cancellations in the region, not to mention delays nationwide. Some areas may already seem buried in snow, but the nor'easter was only expected to make matters worse through Friday, especially in Boston, which could see about a foot of snow. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Let's look at destination weather. There are some delays being reported out of Savannah this morning for final LaGuardia. That flight this morning has been canceled, so definitely want to check in with your airlines. And I just looked at the flights that are headed to Atlanta and Charlotte, still reporting on time, but they may trickle down with some delays. 50 to 70-minute delays there in the nation's capital. Also Chicago at the here this morning, 25 to 35 minutes delays with a temperature of -4 there in Chicago. It's a cold day there. Across the Pacific over in Afghanistan, they're seeing a cold afternoon, 39 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. So definitely checking those airlines if you're flying out today. For the weekend, though, in our area, looking pretty good. We will see a warm up, chilly on Saturday, then the milder temperatures once we get into Sunday. 56 tomorrow and then 66 on Sunday. I do expect to see increasing clouds throughout the afternoon on Saturday, and then showers will be possible late in the day on Sunday. Temperatures outside, we are starting off. Many areas are into the upper 20s away from the coast, close to the coast, running near that freezing mark. 28 Statesboro, Hampton 30 for Ridgeland, Hilton Head 32 degrees in Savannah, coming in at 31. And the winds have been gusty overnight last night. Once that front moved through, that cold air began surging southward, and we saw wind gusts over 40 miles per hour in many areas. Has produced some power outages, also some down limbs and trees as well. Just a couple reports that we've seen this morning with some of those limbs that are down, and also power outages have been across Chatham County. But look at the wind gusts currently: 28 Savannah, 20 for Hilton Head, 22 for Beaufort. And when you factor in the wind, this is what it feels like outside. It feels like 18 Pembroke, feels like 16 in Jessup. Also for Statesboro, Hampton 18, Ridgeland 18, 24 for Hilton Head. So bundle up as you head out the door for work this morning. Definitely need that hat and glove and that heavy coat. You'll need that. It'll definitely feel like January. Definitely you'll see that today and also even to next week. Wait till you see that 7-day forecast. Dry weather across our area. We had over an inch of rain yesterday with those showers that moved through. And look at the blizzard conditions. Eastern parts of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, even Long Island overnight last night. They report some blizzard conditions at times. This nor'easter will continue to pull away from the northeast throughout the day. We'll see a dry day tomorrow, but another cold front approaches on Saturday. We'll zoom in across our area in the afternoon. Lots of clear skies, lots of sunshine and clear into the evening. And then by Saturday, we'll see clouds beginning to roll into our area coming in off the ocean. May even become mostly cloudy throughout the afternoon on Saturday. And I do expect Sunday to be mostly cloudy with a few showers possible. Probably it's looking at the best time to rain will be in the afternoon and evening on Sunday. Storm Tracker 7-day forecast for today, only 46, 56 tomorrow, and not too bad on Sunday despite the clouds that'll be moving in. 52 on Monday with another strong cold front passing through. And Tuesday, we may not get out of the 30s in the afternoon with morning lows in the mid-20s.
Now to our Friday feature, sponsored by Tailspin Pet Food and Supply Store. It's during this segment each week we feature pets in need of loving and forever homes. Well, we mark this week with something a little different. We're giving you success stories since our segment started airing. Here are the happy tales of Friday.
It's been 4 months since we started making weekly visits to Tailspin on Habersham Street in Savannah to shine the spotlight on pets for our Friday segment. Since September, we've introduced some adorable pooches and even one feline friend looking for their forever homes. And we're happy to report a few lucky ones have found just that. Remember George? The 10-year-old golden retriever was featured in November, and according to Bob Bryson with Grateful Golden Rescue, the right person just happened to see our show and contacted him days later. George's new mom told Bryson it was love at first sight after seeing how playful and sweet George was during our segment. Now he's in a home with 6 cats, and we're told they've happily accepted him. Then there's Pirate, a 2-year-old Chihuahua mix who stole our hearts immediately with his sweet, loving personality, not to mention his adorable face. Pirate even came with one unique quality. His back leg was injured previously. Lynn Skinner with animal rescue group GUR told us he doesn't walk on the leg but feels no pain or discomfort. While Pirate is handicapped, he's certainly not crippled and doesn't let his disability keep him down. We don't have much information on his new family, but have been told he has found a loving home. Ziggy also had us by our heartstrings when we first met him in October. The 4-year-old Chihuahua was brought to us by One Love Animal Rescue, and he too had a quality that made him special. He had lost one of his eyes due to infection, but functioned normally after having surgery. This little trooper finally found his forever home just days before the holidays. One Love posted this picture to their Facebook page with Ziggy and his new owner, who came all the way down to Savannah from the Atlanta area. We're told his new dad is a chef, so Ziggy will undoubtedly have a full heart and a full tummy. Finally, Rocky. This little cutie was featured on our show the week before Christmas, and while he hasn't officially been adopted yet, his adoption is pending. The 3-year-old Shih Tzu Corgi mix is believed to have been abused by his previous owners, so we're happy that Rocky is finally well on his way to a loving forever home. Congratulations to all of our lucky Furiday pets and even luckier owners who adopted them.
Oh, so good to hear all that. Thank you, Cassidy, and thank you, Tailspin, for helping us get the word out on these pets each and every week. And remember, if there's anyone else out there who has adopted a featured Furiday animal, please share your picture of your 4-legged friend in his or her new home, because we want to share it with our viewers. Next week, we'll be back with another adorable Furiday pet, so stay tuned. It is 6:44 right now. We'll be back with our top stories.